Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Penguin Live TV. My name is Stephen. I'm going to be your host this evening, and joining me, we have T, who is going to be looking at all your comments. So make sure you put your questions into the comments, and we'll do our best to answer them tonight. And if you're on Facebook, we'll get back to your comments hopefully in the next 24 hours. So we started a little bit early because we already have penguins on the water's edge way in the distance. We try and zoom in on these guys. Wow, that was a quick start. There's a bit of a storm cloud brewing up over the horizon, and the penguins, I think, noticed it got dark really soon, so they just charged across the beach. All right, let's go over to our side of the beach so I don't have to rely on the zoom too much. We'll see if any penguins have started coming across here just yet. It does. Oh, there's a massive raft right there. Wow. Look at that nice group coming across. That's a really good start. So I want you guys to try and count how many penguins you see in this first group here. We have a ranger down on that main stand counting all of these penguins. We do our penguin count every single night. We've been doing this count since 1968. It's a pretty special thing we're doing here. It helps our researchers get a lot of information, a lot of vital information to know how the penguin colony is faring over the seasons. Good luck trying to count all those. Oh, something spooked our penguins, a few of them. Look like they're running back. Oh, sorry, with the zoom. Yeah, they're running all the way back. What has spooked you guys? Something has caused them a bit of concern. So they decided it's safer in the water than it is on the rocks. Our penguins are safest when they are in the water. They are suited for swimming. They are a bit awkward on land. So if they're feeling very scared, something's frightened them, they'll definitely run back to the water. But usually when they cross this beach, that's means they've committed to crossing the beach. They're not going to run all the way back when they hit these rocks. So a bit of interesting behavior tonight, and that's going to cause our penguin counter Paul a lot of grief because these penguins just split right down the middle. So he can't count the penguins that have already run back. He might need to do another double count to make sure he doesn't, not double count, recount, so he doesn't double count our penguins. These lovely penguins are just hanging around here on these rocks. Some of them are on their journey home. It's just fantastic to see them up close like this. There's still a lot of light in the sky. Let's see if I can get you a closer view of penguins on the high. All right. So the first time Paul counted that group, he got about 125 penguins that crossed the beach, but I'm not sure what the second count was. It'd probably be just under 100.
It was 35, Paul.
Paul said it was 35. Wow. All right. So we got two different groups. The first group, he reckoned was about 125. This second group, sorry, I'm having a bit of troubles with the zooms right now. They've gone and dropped behind the bushes there. This second group, he reckons there's about 35 in them. So Paul's got his work cut out for him tonight. The penguins started early. We weren't quite ready for them yet, but the penguins don't care if we're ready to start counting them or not. They come whenever they feel comfortable. Now, I did forget to do a bit of an introduction at the start. I'll just show you this lovely penguin pathway that the penguins are going across, or sort of waddling across. But I did want to take this moment to acknowledge that the land that we are on right now and the traditional custodians are the Burrow of the Cook Nation. And I want to pay my respects to the elders, both past, present, and emerging. And in the comments, if you don't mind, maybe give us a shout out of where you are watching the penguins from tonight and who the traditional custodians of the land where you are watching from are. Because I feel like there's quite a few people all around, not only here in Phillip Island, Victoria, but all around Victoria, around Australia, and even around the world. So please let us know what's going on, where you're visiting from, or where you're watching from. Because it's very interesting to us. We're used to seeing people visiting us from all over the world. We also like to know where you're watching from. So these penguins are just having a bit of a break right here. They've done the dangerous part of crossing the beach. They're into the sand dunes. You You can see our stand just below these penguins. Now, when we open up again, you would be more than welcome to come back and grab a spot on this stand. Hopefully it's not too far away before we can start opening up again. And I know these penguins have sure missed seeing people around here as well. It'd be great to see all of your smiling faces enjoying the penguins. And look at them, they're just waddling on their way home. So last night, we had large groups of penguins crossing the beach as well. Paul was counting as well last night, and he counted 1,661 penguins. That's quite a lot of penguins this time of year, and we're just entering into the breeding season, which is really exciting time of year. There's lots of chicks in the colony, lots of eggs in the colony. Once the chicks are old enough, they might start venturing out of the burrows. We haven't seen any around this area just yet, but we'll keep our eyes open for any of the young baby penguins. They're not going to wander too far away from their burrows, but once they get old enough, they'll start waddling their way out of their burrows looking for mom and dad every night.
Stephen, I've got one question that is burning everyone's brain. How many penguins did we have last night?
So last night we had 1,661 penguins across the beach, and we count our penguins for 50 minutes every night. Oh, there's another big a big group of penguins waddling their way across the beach. Let's have a good look at these guys. Oh, I don't envy Paul trying to count these ones tonight. Wow, look at how many penguins are just clambering all over those rocks. Ooh. And in the top right corner, you might notice a Cape Barren goose with its two goslings. And the penguins are just close behind. They don't want to get too close to that goose. A mama goose will protect their babies, even though a penguin's not dangerous to their chicks out in the open. Mother geese definitely don't want any other animals getting too close to its baby. So these penguins, if they're smart, they're going to give that goose a bit of space. Oh, yeah, mama goose isn't too happy. That top corner, they've just started running away. This is fantastic. So much is happening on the screen tonight. It's really lucky. Hopefully we'll be able to see those penguins make another attempt at coming back. Believe me, a penguin is not going to win a fight against a mother goose. Not in 100 years is that going to happen. So the penguins, if they have any sense about them, are just going to run whenever mama goose looks a bit angry at them. Now, these guys are just scrambling over the rocks, jumping down. That was a good little jump there. And these guys are going on a journey home. Let's zoom out. I think there might be quite a few penguins around here. Yeah, there's some nice groups around here. Wow, really good numbers tonight of penguins. Look at these guys just going. All right, I'm going to pop over to the other camera because I reckon a big group is coming around the corner. Yeah, so there's 140 penguins in that last big group we saw crossing the beach, which is just fantastic. Wow! I couldn't even begin to start counting how many penguins are crossing in front of us right now, but this is just fantastic. Look at them waddle their way home. Now, it is the breeding season, so a lot of these adult penguins are on a journey home, maybe to sit on their eggs, to incubate their eggs, to keep them warm, maybe to feed their chicks. And some of our penguins are looking to even have some eggs in the near future. This is one of the most exciting times here at the Penguin Parade because there's lots of penguins that are really active in the colony. And you can tell there's large numbers of penguins that are on a journey home. Now, even though these penguins do outnumber the geese, might be just a couple of geese hanging around those two babies, they're still not going to try and pick a fight with them. Penguins are not the bravest when they're on land. They'd rather be a bit more cautious. Wow, just look at them go.
One question, Stephen. How far do they go from the beach to their homes?
How far do our penguins go from when they get onto land on the beach until they make it to their home? Well, some of our penguins are very lucky and they have some beachfront properties. I might be able to show you a burrow here or there. I don't know if there's any penguins in these burrows, but right here, I'll just zoom in we have a little penguin burrow. Now, this penguin burrow is just a couple of, well, not even, it's about 20 meters off the beach. It's not too far for a penguin to walk. So that's $1 million mansion right there if you're a penguin. Other penguins, they're not so lucky. They might have to walk about 2 kilometers to get home. It's a long walk, and they make that journey every single time they come home because penguins always live in the same burrow. Or at least they try to live in the same burrow. And so when they do make their journey home, they're not going to do it all in one stretch. They're going to take lots of little rests and breaks on the walk home. They might sit down like these penguins are right in front of you, preening themselves, resting, making sure that they are not pushing themselves too hard on land. Let's see if we can get some of that preening action happening on the screen. So you see some penguins reaching their beaks around all over their feathers, shaking off as well a bit of water. Now penguins really do need to preen their feathers and keep them meticulous and proper because they use these feathers to keep themselves waterproof out on the ocean. Now, if you see any penguins reaching around behind them, putting their beak right above their tail, that's where their oil gland is. And they spread some natural oils off that oil gland onto their beak and they rub it all over their feathers. And that helps to keep them waterproof out on the ocean. And of course, these penguins, they really do need to make themselves beautiful for their significant others waiting for them at home. Some of these penguins don't have a significant other just yet. They're looking to find a partner for the breeding season. And a scruffy penguin is going to have a hard time attracting a mate. All right, let's zoom out a little bit, see if anything else is happening around. Just over here, I thought I saw a little wallaby. Let's go have a look at this little wallaby. So we have a, oh, there he is. Lovely little black swamp wallaby hanging around in the penguin colony. Not really a good friend of the penguins, but they do get along just fine. Wallabies are herbivores. They're not going to bother the penguins. The only thing a wallaby will do that's a bit negative to a penguin is startle them when they're jumping around. Now, wallabies are quite a bit bigger than our penguins, so the penguins are definitely keeping an eye on the wallabies, making sure that they're not going to be any potential threat to them. But the penguins know wallabies aren't a predator. They're only cautious just because they're a lot bigger. Oh, it looks like we got a penguin at the bottom of the screen, might be going the wrong direction. If you see any penguins walking the wrong way tonight, those are called shell gritters. Now, a shell gritter is a penguin that is with egg, or a pregnant penguin, if you will. Now, the shell gritters are going to the beach to peck at the sand and eat some of the shell grit in the sand. A bit like if you have chickens at home who are ready to lay eggs, they'll be eating grit as well. Shell grit's really high in calcium, which is really good at helping the mothers satisfy those pregnancy cravings that they get. So we got a little shell gritter this way who's going the wrong way. She's occasionally pecking at the sand here or there. So yeah, those pregnancy cravings, they can't be satisfied by anything else other than shells in the sand. I told my wife when she was pregnant that at least your pregnancy cravings aren't as bad as a penguin's. She wasn't too happy when I said that. I got in a lot of trouble that night. Wow, look at all these penguins. I reckon this is going to be a very good night for penguin numbers. Now, I haven't managed to do too much of an introduction as to who we are or where we're even watching these penguins from. So we are on Phillip Island right now at the Penguin Parade. We're part of the Phillip Island Nature Parks. We are a self-funded, we used to be a self-funded not-for-profit organization, and we are at heart a conservation organization. Now, what our main priority is helping to keep these penguins and their colony safe and healthy. And we do that through a lot of hard work, a lot of revegetation work, a lot of weed control, a lot of pest control. And the penguins have been doing really well as a result of all of the hard work we have put into protecting this penguin colony on Phillip Island. But it's not just Phillip Island that we're taking care of. We take care of about 1,800 hectares of land. That's around 20% of Phillip Island. And all of the land that we take care of is helping to keep the native species healthy and safe, trying to create a little bit of a sanctuary for wildlife here on Phillip Island. And we take care of other endangered animals like the eastern barred bandicoot, which is critically endangered. We also have quite a few koalas at our Koala Conservation Reserve. And we also have Churchill Island as well, as we also take care of Cape Woolamai, where we have a very large shearwater colony that's going to be making a return visit very soon. The short-tailed shearwaters tend to come back to Australia at the end of this month, give or take a few days. And we're really looking forward to seeing them make their return flight here to Australia. Absolutely fantastic. And you can help us with our conservation work here by maybe clicking that link that you see at the bottom down there to the Penguin Foundation. That is our charity organization. The Penguin Foundation does fund a lot of work. It helps our penguin hospital, or our wildlife clinic as we sometimes call it, where if we have any injured penguins or any injured wildlife, we can admit them to our hospital and take care of them. They also fund quite a few conservation projects as well, a lot of revegetation, a lot of research into how we can best help our little penguins. And on the Penguin Foundation, if you're interested in checking that one out, we have an Adopt a Penguin program or a Penguin Pal program. If you join the Penguin Pal program, I think you get a soft little plushy toy sent out as a gift, as a thanks for your donation. I do want to thank everybody who has been donating to the Penguin Foundation. I think we've had, how many donors was it, T?
Over 600.
Oh, 600 donations in the last 2 weeks, which is fantastic. We are just so overwhelmed by the numbers of people who care about our penguins and want to help them out. So thank you so much, especially to all your return viewers. We love having you back night after night. And what a night it's been tonight. It's been very quick. These little penguins are coming fast and furious across the beach and in large numbers. Be interesting to see how many penguins we have coming across tonight. But you'll have to tune in tomorrow to see our final numbers, because Paul, who is counting these penguins, and he's having a tough time of it tonight, he won't be finished for another half an hour. So we got quite a bit of a wait still before we know how long, and we're going to be finishing the stream long before then. All right, let's go see if we can find any penguins doing interesting things in the colony. That swamp wallaby's still hanging around. Now, I always like to keep my eyes open around these burrows just to see if there's any penguins that are interested. There's one little penguin in the grass over there. Oh, the camera's not zooming in and focusing very well for me. Let's zoom out a little bit. Oh, there's a couple of penguins in the long grass. That little penguin just popped his head out of the grass. Didn't even know you were there, buddy. Just there in the center of the screen. So these penguins do go on a journey home, hopefully back to their burrows with their chicks or their eggs if they have any. And these baby penguins will grow up, if they're very lucky, and make it out into the ocean. It only takes them around 2 months after they hatch to grow up and head into the ocean. Give or take, there's no real laws to nature. They follow their own timeline. Are you going to go into your home? Oh, look at that. We just saw a millionaire penguin entering that $1 million beach property he has. Now that's going to have to be a very brave male penguin in order to keep that property, because it's going to be in pretty high demand. A lot of the junior penguins who don't have a house of their own yet might try and move in. And so the males are going to be the ones who have to defend their burrows from any potential squatters who try to steal their property. Alrighty, so we will have to wind down pretty quickly. The penguins are certainly going on a journey home tonight. They're going to be having a nice little relaxing evening at home, hopefully with the missus, hopefully with the kids. And we'll leave you with this last little shot of them on their journey home, waddling their way home before we sign off for tonight. So I do want to thank all of you for tuning in. I do want to thank especially those of you who have been tuning in night after night. We love seeing you coming back every night. And we do hope to see you again tomorrow. Thanks all.
Thank you, everybody.